You know what I'm going to say next. Tesla is the largest AI project on Earth, and it's not just robotaxis anymore. It is humanoid robots. It is humanoid robots, and according to our research, while the robotaxi opportunity globally for everyone, including China, is an $8 to $10 trillion revenue opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years, from maybe $1 billion now. So think about that, $1 billion to 8 to 10 trillion, the whole ecosystem, with the platform companies like Tesla getting half of that. So that's 4 to 5 trillion. That's a big market. According to our estimates, the humanoid robot market will be a $26 trillion market in the next, I'll say, 7 to 15 years.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge.
Cathie Wood's fund fell 70%, but her bold vision for innovation stays strong. We'll uncover her strategy. Stay tuned to learn why.
I think everyone knows about NVIDIA. We always try and answer that question with stocks people either they don't know or they're not quite thinking about them in the right way.
Misunderstood. Maybe not unknown, but misunderstood or mispriced.
Yes, as we were selling NVIDIA, and we got all kinds of flack. Nobody bothered to notice that we put it in the portfolio in 2014 because of autonomous driving at, I think, 20 cents on the current stocks basis at 20 cents per share. And we held it for years and no one would listen to us. No one. I talked about robotics, talked about autonomous driving, talked about, nope, it was a PC gaming chip company and that's all it was. And then it explodes with ChatGPT and, we start selling it and we sold it too soon in the flagship. I mean, meaning we exited it. We're back in it now when it dropped during tariff turmoil. But right. What did we put in portfolio management? You have to not look at just what was sold, but what did you do with the proceeds? How about Palantir, which I think from that point has done better than NVIDIA. I don't know. That was the case at one point. How about Coinbase when the SEC was suing it? That's that's what we use some of the NVIDIA for. It has done pretty darn well. I think almost as well as NVIDIA. So you have to do it. So today, of course, NVIDIA it still has a very important role. Palantir still has a very important role. It is the premier platform as a service company. We think embodied AI is underappreciated. What is that? Embodied AI is physical AI, physical and digital worlds meeting. You know what I'm going to say next. Tesla is the largest AI project on Earth, and it's not just robotaxis anymore. It is humanoid robots. It is humanoid robots, and according to our research, while the robotaxi opportunity globally for everyone, including China, is an $8 to $10 trillion revenue opportunity in the next 5 to 10 years, from maybe $1 billion now. So think about that, $1 billion to 8 to 10 trillion, the whole ecosystem, with the platform companies like Tesla getting half of that. So that's 4 to 5 trillion. That's a big market. According to our estimates, the humanoid robot market will be a $26 trillion market in the next, I'll say, 7 to 15 years.
The Federal Reserve's latest $29.4 billion liquidity boost has caught the market's attention, and Bitcoin bulls are starting to perk up. Despite Jerome Powell's continued hawkish tone, this sudden injection of liquidity seems to contradict his tightening narrative. Beneath the surface, it signals that stress is quietly building in the funding markets, a scenario that often plays out before a wave of risk-on behavior. And historically, Bitcoin loves that setup. Analysts are now calling Powell's stance a bluff. The sharp rise in overnight repo demand, reaching a 5-year high, shows banks are running short on dollars. These short-term loans, backed by treasuries, are the Fed's go-to tool when liquidity gets tight. A spike here means hidden strain, and the Fed's quick response suggests that quantitative easing might not be as far away as Powell insists. History offers a clue. When liquidity tightened in 2019, the Fed's emergency interventions sparked a massive Bitcoin rally that carried into the 2020-2021 bull run. With similar patterns emerging today, Bitcoin's current sideways move around the $110,000 could simply be the calm before another breakout. Delayed, not denied. Bitcoin's Q4 moment might just be warming up.
What we're doing is moving from a very narrow subset of transportation called ride-hail today to all of transportation, right? So we're moving the entire market to autonomous to get that number. They're a very small slice, very, very, very small slice. And in fact, what's so interesting in San Francisco, I think that Waymo, we're finding, research is showing that people are willing to wait longer and pay more for a Waymo than for an Uber or Lyft. And I believe this has already happened. The number of miles, even though in San Francisco, Waymo is geofenced and Lyft is not, the number of miles in San Francisco, the San Francisco metropolitan area, that Waymo is driving per day has surpassed Lyft and is heading for Uber. Isn't that remarkable? People are willing to pay up. Now, that's not in our 8 to 10 trillion. We assume that, sure, they'll start maybe right at or below the prevailing prices for Uber and Lyft, but they will drop over time to that 25 cents. So starting in the $2 and at surge pricing, it can be $8 per mile. Starting $2-ish, $2.50 maybe, and dropping to 25 cents. 25 cents is at scale, right? So that's the 8 to 10 trillion dollar. And, just think about it. I mean, I would prefer to take an Uber today, even though I have 2 Teslas and I love them, but I still have to pay some attention on the road, right?
If there's no Elon.
Well, if you had asked the question like 5 years ago, the answer would have been different. But I think what has happened, and one of the reasons Elon has spent so much time doing other things, some of which people didn't agree with, is because I think he feels they have pretty much solved the last mile in FSD. And if they have done that, then they're going to capture the robo-taxi opportunity. They're going to be able to scale. We would not, however, start incorporating humanoid robots in the way we haven't done much yet in our $2,600 price target. And we'll update that. We usually update it each spring for public consumption. And so we have very little for humanoid. We'd probably be much less optimistic on humanoid robots. And so we wouldn't put as much in as we perhaps will with Elon at the helm.
Bitcoin is holding steady near $110,350, and the charts still shout bullish. Yet, the breakout everyone's waiting for just won't stick. The reason lies in a heavy supply zone between $110,000 and $112,500, an area loaded with traders looking to sell. On-chain data shows that around 434,000 BTC were last bought in this range, creating a wall of resistance. Every time prices approach these levels, holders rush to take profits, keeping Bitcoin trapped in a tight band. Still, the structure remains bullish as long as BTC stays above $106,200. The chart continues to show an inverse head and shoulders pattern, a classic signal for trend reversals. If Bitcoin manages a daily close above $116,400, it could open the gates toward $122,000 and beyond. Adding to the optimism, the RSI is flashing a bullish divergence, hinting that buy momentum is quietly building. Whales might be the missing trigger. Large holders are back in accumulation mode for the first time since August, suggesting confidence is returning. If this buying pressure continues, it could finally push Bitcoin through that stubborn resistance, turning a stalled breakout into a full-blown rally. If you have been watching so far, thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Zella for daily news, all for free. That's all for today's video. Until next time.